Hello everyone, have a nice day. Have you ever thought, in a game of power, who really controls everything? While all eyes are on Alex, the man determined to find out who is behind the series of dark events, in another hidden corner, Tuna, the seemingly weak and silent girl, is quietly turning the whole game around. Without making a fuss, without showing off, she collects every little clue, every seemingly meaningless word, to gradually draw the true portrait of the mastermind. And when the curtain is pulled down, everyone realizes the one who saved Alex from the abyss of despair is her. This is a story that has never been told before. Tuna quietly helps Alex expose the mastermind behind it all. Join me on this unexpected journey, where darkness and light are only a breath apart. Rain fell silently on the window. Alex sat alone in the dark room, only the flickering yellow light shining on his haggard face. In the past few days, everything seemed to have collapsed before his eyes. Trust, teammates, even honor. His best friend betrayed him. His beloved project was destroyed, and the mastermind was still free out there, as if no crime had ever existed. Every night, Alex reviewed the recordings, the old messages, hoping to find a small loophole to trace the clues. But the more he searched, the deeper he got lost in the maze of doubts. The door opened slightly. His mother walked in. She placed her hand on her son's shoulder, her voice soft but firm. "My son, no one can reclaim the truth if they give up halfway. Your father was also misunderstood in the past, but he still chose to stand firm, because he knew, as long as you believe in the right thing, the truth will come." Alex looked up. A faint but real light flashed in his eyes. He nodded slightly, squeezing his mother's hand. Alex stood up with his mother's encouragement. His face was still tired, but his eyes were different. No longer despair, but determination. His mother's words were like a small fire, warming up the will that seemed to have died out. He put on his old coat, walked out of the house, and headed towards the factory where his colleague, Adam, was working. Adam was the one who had started the project with him to export high-quality bamboo, a project that had been accused of origin fraud overnight. When they met again, Adam looked at him worriedly. "I knew you would come. There are many things I can't say over the phone." They sat down in a small riverside cafe, the place where they had witnessed their first signing ceremony. Adam opened his laptop and showed Alex the data files that had been deleted from the system, altered shipping documents, altered origin codes, all of which started after a new person was appointed to the quality control department. Alex clenched his fists, his heart pounding. He was not wrong. Someone was secretly manipulating everything. Tuna was at the farm, her hands still wringing out her wet shirt, the cold afternoon wind blowing through her messy hair. The phone suddenly rang, the urgent sound in the quiet space making her stop. On the screen was an unfamiliar number. She hesitated for a few seconds before picking up. On the other end of the line was a man's voice, deep and urgent. "Miss Tuna, right? I can't say her name, but I think you need to know this. The person who signed the bamboo contract with Alex just appeared with my..." That sentence made her stunned. "What did you say, Mama?" "The assistant of the quality control department. She's at the factory, sitting with him. I think something's wrong." Then the call ended, leaving only the sound of the wind whistling in her ears. Tuna felt her blood boil. She remembered Adam's words, remembered the deleted data, remembered Alex's desperate eyes. Everything suddenly connected. Clearly someone was staging a perfect drama. Without hesitation, she turned the car towards Alex's house to pick up Alex's mother, her heart pounding in the fading sunset. Perhaps the truth was very near. But also, perhaps, danger awaited ahead. Late afternoon, the grapefruit factory located by the river was covered in a pale yellow color of the fading sunlight. In the hidden corner behind the warehouse, a girl with a cold appearance. Next to her was the man who had signed the bamboo contract with Alex, now reappearing with a face full of complacency. They walked slowly inside, their voices mixed with the sound of the wind and the faint scent of grapefruit essential oil. "So everything is done. Has the origin file been completely changed?" Mai asked. her eyes looking around as if afraid someone would hear. "Don't worry," he replied, curling his lips. "All the documents now have the name of the new company. No matter how Alex cries out for justice, no one will believe it. I have edited all the traces." Both of them laughed softly, a cold laugh in the empty space. But they didn't know, behind the gate, there was a person quietly listening to every word. Alex's secretary, whom he trusted the most, had long suspected. So she secretly followed Meyer, her face tensed up, her hand tightly gripping the recording phone. Every word they said was like a knife stabbing into her heart. Someone had deliberately harmed her boss, the one who had protected them so many times. When the conversation ended, Mai turned to leave when a cold voice rang out from behind. "Are you done talking?" Both Mai and the man jumped, turning around. Under the dim light, the secretary appeared, her eyes shining, her hand still holding the recording phone. The silence lasted, only the sound of the ceiling fan creaking steadily. "Did you hear everything?" Mai stammered, her face pale. The secretary smiled slightly, half in pain, half in defiance. "Enough to save the person you are trying to bury alive." A strong wind blew through. The factory door made a loud bang, causing the two men to jump back in surprise. They quickly made an excuse and left the grapefruit factory. Seeing Mai and the man hurriedly leave the grapefruit factory, the secretary immediately took out her phone and dialed Tuna's number. Her voice trembled slightly. "They just left, went to the tea shop by the bridge." After hanging up, she stood still for a moment. She didn't dare tell Alex, afraid that he would collapse even more, especially since Mai was his childhood sweetheart, the person he still trusted despite being betrayed. She looked up in the direction they left, her heart filled with sadness mixed with determination. This truth had to be brought to light. In a small coffee shop by the bridge, the yellow light fell on the mottled wooden table. Mai and the other man sat opposite each other, their faces full of calculation. Outside, the night mist was hazy. No one expected that the two seemingly polite people were discussing plans that were darker than anything they had ever done. Now Alex was removed from the project. The company is in trouble. We just need to further promote the fraud rumors, and he will lose all credibility, the man said, his voice low but decisive. Mai sipped her coffee, her lips curved into a faint smile. "Then, I will stand up to help replace him. At that time, no one will remember the name Alex anymore." "Aren't you afraid of being discovered, found?" Mai sneered. "No one has evidence. Everything has been erased." But at that moment, the shop door opened loudly. The wind rushed in, carrying the sound of hurried footsteps. Tuna and Alex's mother appeared. The two people's faces were full of determination, their eyes like blades cutting through the heavy atmosphere. Mai startled and stood up, her voice trembling. "You guys, why are you here?" Tuna did not speak, just put the phone on the table. A voice rang out, clear, coherent. It was the conversation in the grapefruit factory a few hours ago. Every word, every laugh rang out clearly. Mai paled, trying to stay calm. "No, that's not me." It was to NA and the secretary making up stories, mixing voices to harm me. She looked around, hoping to find some trust in Alex's mother's eyes, but she only looked straight at her, her eyes filled with deep disappointment. She slowly approached, her voice low and cold. "Mai, do you think I don't recognize it? Your voice, the way you speak, every single word. I heard it clearly every day when you were little. I watched you grow up with Alex, but I didn't expect you would choose to betray him like that." Mai stepped back, her lips trembling. The man with her bowed his head, trying to escape, but Tuna blocked the door. Alex's mother took out a stack of papers from her bag, a copy of the real contract, stamped by the inspection agency before it was modified. She spoke slowly, each word like a nail. "You can lie to us, but you can't lie about the time. The real file has been restored. You should be honest, if you want to keep your last bit of honor." Mai fell to her knees, tears streaming down, her trembling hands clutching the edge of the table. "Please, please, Tuna, don't tell Alex. I was just forced. I didn't want things to turn out like this." Tuna looked at her, his eyes both cold and pitiful. We don't want to harm you, my. You chose this path yourself. But Alex has the right to know the truth. My lowered her head, her sobs mingling with the sound of rain starting to fall outside the porch. In that moment, everything seemed silent. Only the steady sound of the rain remained. As if to reiterate an indelible truth, the traitor must eventually bow his head.